Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play SOMA. In the last episode, we made it to the living quarters here in Theta. We discovered that Catherine had originally come from Theta or been stationed here, and we learned a little bit more about the ARC project. In particular, what was interesting to me that I did not remember is that originally people's brains were scanned and then discs were placed into a receptacle. Here's one.
Damaged.
And they were originally what was going to be loaded onto the Ark and then fired into space. So effectively, there would be no virtual reality world. It would just be a capsule of the thoughts, feelings, ideas that the people had at the time they were meant. Their brain waves were captured, or their brain scans were captured. So they wouldn't live. It would be like a book, if anyone was able to actually manage to decipher it, and far, far in the future, some other aliens found that satellite orbiting the sun or what have you. It was repurposed and redone when Catherine discovered that the WoW was actually attempting to have people believe they were living in a different type of world or reality. And then she mimicked what the ARC had done with her ARC project. I'm pretty sure I'm getting that correct. I thought it was the other way around, so that's interesting. I suppose the WoW was doing some good after all, wasn't it? Or potentially what it did ended up causing some good to occur. If you can consider what we're doing to be good. And I think it is, after all. Even if these aren't potentially real human beings like we are with flesh and blood, at least their digital versions will continue to exist for some time. Possibly for thousands of years if Catherine is to be believed. We didn't find anything else of note, however, over there in the crew quarters, other than more than 2 people killed themselves, believing that if they did so immediately after the copy was taken, the imaging was done, that somehow it would transfer their soul into the actual Ark. There's all sorts of problems with this, not the least of which is that some people must have known that this entire effort was going to be shut down if they did that, and that the Ark would never be launched, but they did it anyway, under the belief that this would happen. I don't understand how you come to this conclusion, but I also thankfully am not living in this situation. Anyway, the Ark was never launched, it sounds like, because of it. In order to get the Dunbat working, so we can get down to Tau, so we can recover the Ark and bring it to Phi, we still need the Dunbat, though. To that end, remember, it is under quarantine. We need to get the quarantine code from someone who was alive at the time in order to access the Dunbat, and then, well, fly it down to Tau. The only person we have a good bead on who might be able to give us this information is this gentleman. Brandon Wan. Brandon is, of course, dead, so we are trying to convince his mental memory, or the scan of his brain, when we upload it to a virtual environment, that, hey, we are, in fact, trying, we don't want him panicking, because we wanted him to give us the code. Right now, though, he's too suspicious about what he loads into, and he's missing someone called Alice. Brandon's room was back in the crew quarters, so I suspect we'd have to go back there, and perhaps it will unlock for us, since now we know we need to actually access his room. Alright, with that said, let's go and do this. Recall that we have heard another proxy walking around somewhere also when we were last at the crew quarters.
I wish I knew Brandon better. What would make him talk?
Alice would. Catherine. I left these doors open so we could sneak into them or hide in them if we needed to. Now I'm nervous that they're open. I don't like...
Here we go. Brandon Wan's room. I'll just override the lock for you.
The legacy scan of me that was on the computer.
If we get to know him, maybe we can make the simulation a little smoother.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, we just lost a bunch of information that I'll never be able to get again. Okay. I would rather have Catherine answered our question than just state something we already know. That must be Alice.
Cute.
Yeah, she is rather cute. Origami frog? YYC security clearance. Nothing there that will help us, though. Brandon, I'm really a mess about the scan. Everyone's being so brave. All smiles, no regrets. You know how you said you would hold my hand during the scan? If the offer still stands, I gratefully accept. If we do it together, we could suffer the hangover together as well. They say it takes a couple of days to recover. Kisses, Alice. Oh, I understand. Okay, that makes sense then. She was with him when he did the scan, so him waking up with Alice immediately tells him something's weird.
A letter from someone named Alice. They were together during the scan. You know her?
He was close with Coster. I would not have expected that. Can we use that somehow? Keep looking.
Shh, we need to... I mean, I just will say what I think is the answer. We just need to create Alice somehow. If there's no scan of Alice, maybe there isn't, then perhaps Catherine can become Alice for us.
Brandon, you ready to go? Strohmeyer says it's time to move.
I'm waiting for Stratsky and Alvaro to pack up their stuff. Head downstairs and I'll meet you there.
Don't take too long.
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
I think I just heard Alice talking to Brandon on the intercom. Seems like they were getting ready to leave.
You got that from the intercom? Must be a transmission buffer. Hang on. Great, this is exactly what we need. I think we got this, Simon. I can synthesize Alice's voice from the intercom and use it to impersonate her for the simulation. We could trick them into feeling safe enough to open up.
Great. Definitely feeling good about this.
Good job with the intercom. I didn't know you could data mine. What's it like?
It's just something that I do now.
So it comes naturally to you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'll make sure to add it to my dating profile.
Alright, nothing else here.
So, you're not worried that there are other Simons or Catherines running around out there?
Now I am. Geez, Simon, some thoughts are better left alone.
Why does it matter if there are? They would be unique in what they experience and how they approach situations. Well, maybe not how they approach situations that are based on your own mental. I don't know what we're supposed to use for this, viewer. I'm going to keep using mental mapping to try to describe all the thoughts, conclusions, experiences you've had that have led you to believe the things you currently believe, right? And how you approach certain situations. Was that
I
open?
wonder what the real Simon would have thought if he knew about me.
What do you mean? You do know about yourself.
No, I mean the real Simon. The human Simon.
Going by your reactions, I'd say he'd be pretty upset. I compiled an Alice module that we can use.
So she'll be with Brandon in the simulation.
Sort of. I'll still need to do the talking, but it'll sound and look like Alice.
All right. Oh. So we can't transfer that data here. Okay, so we want the scan room and Alice.
That wasn't so bad. Stromar really got me worked up, bastard.
Well, that's what you get for listening to his stories.
I guess I had it coming.
About Stromae. He said he needed a new cipher ASAP. What should I tell him?
It's alright. I can talk to him.
Wait, didn't Sean just tell you to take it easy? Don't worry, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
I do feel hungover. Okay. It's 1729 over 42, 12 over 407. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm sorry, Mr. Long. Brandon. Goodbye.
No, wait.
That's enough. We got what we need.
Is that what we are? Simulations?
Yeah, but it shouldn't make any difference. You're still you. I'm not sure what to do with the data. You decide.
So he doesn't exist until he's actually running. Erasing him would just mean that no one would be able to do this to him again. It would also mean that he would never have the possibility of ever existing again. Well, actually, I think he's also in the Ark, so he would exist there in the Ark and here on this chip. It doesn't matter really to me, I feel like, unless someone's going to come over here and torture him by running him through this machine over and over again. Similar to what we had just done. But or like, similar to what happened to Carl, just leave him effectively, or not, well, sorry, what did not happen to Carl, just flip the switch, leave him on the assembly line in agony forever. But we have no knowledge that would happen to him, so it's the possibility of it happening. I don't think I'll worry about the possibility. Maybe actually it could come in handy if another version of us is back here to try to get the Ark to work again, because we failed. It probably won't happen. We are actually going to be the last attempt at this. But we'll just shut it down and not erase the data. I don't think there's anything else here for us.
Simon, we got it. We can get to the Dunbat now. Get back here.
Catherine, couldn't we just have extracted the cipher from Brandon's data somehow? It's so cruel bringing him back like we did.
No, that's impossible. Memories don't work like that.
Let's just hope it was worth it.
It was worth it. There's no other way to get the data. It's not like it's encrypted. You can't parcel out his brain that way, right? Our memory doesn't work like the memory that you can do by running like cheat engine on memory in a program and see the numbers and possibly figure out what. Well, maybe it works this way, but I'm unaware of any way to access it in this manner, to see what type of register things are being stored into, and then going and retrieving it from there. It doesn't work that way.
I feel terrible about the Brandon thing. Even worse than the robot at Delta.
It's for a good cause.
Well, that doesn't actually make me feel much better, Catherine. Lots of things can be justified by saying it's for a good cause that are actually awful. That's the wrong answer. And I get why Simon feels guilty. Yeah, It's pretty bad. On that same note, Brandon didn't suffer for overly long. We turned him off shortly after, and that was it. That Brandon ceased to be. You can make an argument, I suppose, that we are killing him, aren't we, in a manner of speaking, by terminating its existence. Is that a right thing to do? But we can't leave him like that. There's nothing for him there. Or can we? I like these moral conundrums to think about them, but I'll spare you guys me agonizing over it for hours. I tend to go, whenever I think of something like this, viewer, I also tend to go back and forth with myself, trying to argue for and against different positions. I find it fascinating to think of all different aspects of something like this, and what the right thing is to do, if there even is a right thing to do. But for us, it's the right thing to do, because we can't get any further in this video game if we do not do that.
There you are. Just warming up the Dunbat for us. It's been collecting dust for months, so it might need a minute. Okay, that's it. That's everything. Let's go ahead and... That's weird. Never mind.
What do you need me to do?
Head inside the dock. The Omnitool can open the door now. And get into the Dunbat. Then plug me in, and I'll take us into the Abyss.
Sounds easy enough.
Catherine's Omnitool actually preserves her last moments. And I guess almost before then, she just is on pause, while Brandon was actually terminated and restarted. Imagine if we had to retell her everything that's transpired every time we plug her in and plug her out, because her old self is effectively deleted. Uh-oh. We're missing something. There's a puzzle here. Okay, I can't turn any of the knobs. Is there a power outlet somewhere? There must be more power we have to turn on. Where? There was a plug there I didn't see. Let's see if that leads us to where we need to go. No. Can't press that button. Whoa! It is unplugged. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Oh, that's good to know. Still has power. All the systems check out. Oh, it was possessed as well, apparently. I wonder who was in there. Arguably, its statement this is all her fault. It might you could probably consider it true in a way, since she made all these scans of us, and the WoW might have used those scans to create its copies. That also means a Dunbat is off limits. Unless we can somehow get to it and deactivate the AI that's in it. We're also hurt, so we'll need to find one of those WoW heal receptacles. We can push it while we're on it, but I'll take it. We've only seen a large proxy viewer. There might be smaller ones. the Ark. It had been here, hooked up apparently at one point. We are wounded, not heavily so I don't feel like we need to use that quite yet. Let's do a little bit of reading, and then we'll plug Catherine in. Documents. I've decided to finalize the Ark with the scans we have. I'm sorry for all of you who wanted to go but didn't get a chance to scan yourself before the project was put on hold. It's been 2 months since I've added a scan, and I don't see how I'll ever be able to win back the support you all showed me when we started the project. I'm sorry. I never meant for anyone to take their lives. It was never my intention to fool anyone. I just wanted to save something. Poor Catherine. Don't blame yourself for what other people believe. What's left? Apply interface module, seal Arc capsule, ask permission from 4Q, brief Ivashkin, Lindwall, Peterson, and Hill, take shuttle to Omicron, pick up power suits, ride the climber into the abyss, regroup at Tau, head to launch site, load the bullet, launch Arc. So they did walk there.
Huh? Wait, this isn't... Oh, no! WoW got to the Dunbat before we did, am I right?
Well, it was talking. That's rarely a good sign.
Damn it. The Dunbat was our best shot. I was really banking on this to work.
Come on, we can't quit now. There's gotta be another way. How do you think you did it? How did the team get the Ark down the abyss in the first place?
If they didn't use the Dunbat, the only other way would be the climber at Omicron. It's like an elevator which supposedly reaches all the way down into the abyss.
Okay, so we do that. We go to Omicron and take the elevator.
Yeah, okay. Sure. We'll just head over to Omicron and hope there's a power suit that fits you. You know, so you don't implode while in the abyss.
That does sound useful.
Alright, let's go then. Wait, what is this place? Seems to be a lot of information on the Ark here. There's a prototype and everything.
Okay.
Let's start it up. I want to see how it works. Maybe we can figure out how to get on the Ark.
You didn't know how to get us on?
How difficult could it be?
On the off chance she says something about this, we'll go back here again. She is not. Arc locator. Yet we know we are here? Oh, wait. No, it's here. The symbol. Arc. Yep. Arc attitude survey. To gauge staff opinion, please fill out this short survey. Recently, it was decided the Arc project would become Pathos 2's last official commitment. The staff have been urged to carry on with their duties despite Earth's catastrophic condition. I think the Arc project is the most logical step towards saving mankind, and that we should spend as much time and resources as possible to complete it. Mankind is dead. It is not coming back. But it would be as if we're giving birth to a new digital life form and helping it carry on despite our death. So I would agree with this. To embark, every passenger needs to be flushed with electromagnetism using a pilot seat. These scanning sessions are known to cause nausea and headaches, sometimes lasting up to 3 days. I think temporary physical discomfort, no matter how severe, is a small price to pay to save mankind. Are you willing to suffer? How severe, viewer? That's... Man, I have been in some severe pain. Wow. At the end of the day, if everyone dies, and I have to go through 3 days of unimaginable pain, but it's over in 3 days? Oh, man. I'm going to tack on that there's something they can do for the pain, as opposed to just unimaginable agony for 3 days. Which is how I read no matter how severe. It's how this statement says, imagine the worst pain you can possibly be in, and it's a little worse than that. I could do it. Man. This is tough for me, viewer. This last sentence, like nausea and headaches, up to 3 days. I've had migraine headaches that has lasted for weeks, and it's awful. But I can bear that. This one statement, though, man, viewer. Holy crap. Oh. I've been in a lot of pain since I last took this survey, viewer, some 7 or 8 years ago when I recorded the game. My attitude now is I don't know if anyone would be able to last 3 days of something that says no matter how severe. I will agree. The Ark is built to fit a Ranger Mark 7 probe, meaning it could be shot into space with the Omega space gun, and technically survive for thousands of years, living off the light from our sun and distant stars. I think the Ark should leave Earth behind and be launched into space. So I guess the question here is, it uses whatever power it's got on Earth for, so maybe what, like 10 more years, and then that's it. And then it powers down, and that's the end of it. Or, potentially, it lasts for, well, thousands of years. If you're going to do the work, you might as well give it the best chance it has of lasting as long as possible. And assuming that they did all the trajectory stuff correctly, plotted the course correctly, and this is an accurate statement, I would strongly agree with this statement. The digitalization of humanity is an opportunity to make a quantum leap in our own evolution. The people inside the Ark will, out of necessity, be generated from existing genetic code, but could be altered to allow for cosmetic changes, ease aging, and even prevent death. I think we're at risk of losing our humanity if we were to rid ourselves of disease and our mortality. No, I don't think we would be. We can read and understand what these things are without needing to subjugate them to ourselves. Like, are people in the Ark allowed to kill each other? I'm assuming that's been programmed to be something that does not occur, despite any political or whatever other beliefs people have that might lead them to being angry or possibly violent at each other. Hopefully that stuff would be rooted out or prevented to occur in a virtual environment. Actually, I'm not quite sure how that would work out now that I think about it, but I think if you had the opportunity to tweak yourself, why wouldn't you want that to be the case here? You definitely don't want to die in the Ark, right? Are we going to live our days normally? The impression, this is confusing. I got the impression that this is a virtual environment. Ourselves are beamed into the Ark at either what we were at the time we're scanned, and or perhaps we have some cosmetic changes. Maybe we can choose, like, if I'm a 50-year-old guy, which I am right now, could I make myself look like my 24-year-old self? That wouldn't be bad. I'd take that. I strongly disagree with this. There are only 58 people left alive to be stored inside the Ark. A way to diversify and expand the population would introduce artificial intelligence that would in every way appear to be human, but with childlike and naive sensibilities. As we continue to explore the nature of intelligence, we may find a way to make them smarter in the future. I think even an inferior group of artificial people would benefit our society. I don't know if I agree with this. This sounds a bit like, I don't know, childlike. And then you said, no, I don't like this. Of course, only 58 people left alive to be stored is hinting that there'd only be 58 people inside the entire world, so it would be completely empty. As someone who is incredibly introverted people, good viewer, I'd be perfectly fine with never seeing another person alive. That's the wrong way to phrase it. I'd be perfectly fine never seeing another living person again. Like, I don't want to see anybody. Leave me alone in my virtual room, so I can play my virtual games in a virtual reality setting forever. I'd be fine with that. But I suppose most people wouldn't be. They would want to see someone else. I guess it might drive them insane if they don't. I don't know if I like this, though. An inferior group of artificial people. I don't like the way this is phrased. Let's take the current situation and think about it for a little bit. Inferior artificial people, childlike, naive sensibilities, you could consider that to be some of the creatures that we are fighting, or sneaking past perhaps, right? Are they a benefit to our society, the world we're in at the moment? Are they... I suppose in the future, found a way to actually regain control of them. Possibly. But who knows if we would or would not do that. This could make living in the Ark just as bad as the current situation outside of it. I don't know what I think here. I'm going to disagree. Thank you for participating. This is how your colleagues voted. Ark approval, 12%. Eternity Among the Stars, 68%. Inferior companions. Oh, I'm sorry. So, we were in a minority for Ark approval. Most people strongly agreed to do this. We just agreed. We were in the majority for this, the vast majority, which has said that let's ship it to the stars. It was strongly agreed. We were in... Oh, this is very... We were in the majority, as it were, for inferior companions. It was 48 versus 52%. Pain for gain. We have strongly agree. We were in the majority for this, but viewer, this is tough. No matter how severe, that's a tough statement. That's a tough statement. I am assuming you get no pain, no ability to reduce the pain. You're just in it for 3 days, whatever it is. God, it's so nightmarish. Even an hour of being in some of the pain I've been in has been just awful. God. Artificial evolution, we are in the minority here, coming in at 46%. Would strongly disagree. I'm assuming, well, this is a participation survey. I don't know if based on these, the Ark would be altered to have these. Like, did they, based on artificial evolution answer, did they put artificial intelligence in the Ark? I don't know. Okay, well, let's look around for a bit. Prep Ark with signal transmitter. Power packs, tools, extra oxygen, PLL permission.
Wow, that's so cool. It's the whole gang.
A crew photo? Really? Who are you saving this for? The world was dead.
Thanks, Simon. I thought being an asshole wasn't invented until the 22nd century. Now I know better.
Yeah, Simon, what is that? Why would you say that? Why wouldn't you take it? Maybe somehow time gets warped backwards and everyone's alive again, or something like that occurs. There's nothing wrong with taking a picture, for crying out loud. You just kill yourself because humanity's over? Crying out loud, so stupid. Haimatsu parasuit, proper use. We're gonna skip this.
That's Phi, all right. Quick stop at Omicron, then Tau, then Phi.
Let's do it.
There's no shuttle, though, to Omicron, right? The shuttle, we don't trust the shuttle system or it's down or something of the sort. At least the shuttle we took. Maybe there's another. Apparently they haven't heard from Tau in some time either. Maybe they didn't make it to Phi because Tau is actually filled with things like what we're fighting here. And that was the end of their attempt.
What's this thing?
That's just a compound examiner. Coster uses it to investigate structural integrity in payload frameworks.
Of course.
Could you fit inside it? If you knew what you were made of, it would be a hell of a lot easier to figure out how to get you on the Ark.
Give it a try. Bit of a tight fit.
Can you reach the on switch?
Should I be worried about radiation?
I think we're beyond that. Interesting. You seem to be one with the diving suit you're wearing. Everything's meshed together.
How's that gonna work with the suit we're picking up at Omicron?
I think they're bigger. You should be able to wear them both.
Imogen? Who's that?
It looks like the basis for your body is one of my old colleagues. A standard Cortex chip for robots, including the data reader and the Ocute torch, has just been forced through the skull.
What?
Structure gel has fused the whole construction together. Amazing stuff.
No, hold on, back up. I'm one of your old colleagues?
Well, your body is. Imogen Reed.
That's disgusting.
Hey, don't say that. She was nice to me. Anyway, the Cortex chip is good news. That means we can transfer your mind to the Ark with a pilot seat.
Kath, I'm half a dead person.
Yes, it makes sense. Think about it. All those simplistic minds we've run into, just reviving a dead person doesn't seem to work that well. A robot body seems to make people a bit unreliable. You are the best of both worlds. A sound mind and a sound body.
At least we know how to get on the Ark.
Sort of. I understand the concept, but I don't know the specifics. I really wish we could figure out how the scan data is formulated and processed.
Well, here's a copy of the Ark. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Wow. They lost 896 terabytes of memory. All that information's gone. Off of this copy. We need to probably get it down. Let's see. What do we want to get rid of? What do we want to keep? If we get rid of the lake. Oh, no. Okay, we need water if we want humans, and we want humans. Oh, we don't need the dirt road. Get rid of a bench. Don't need a boat. Get rid of a chair. Interface scan. We need that for humans. We need that. soft physics. We have to load the scanned forest. We have no choice. We have to load a forest. Okay. We don't need the small foliage. We need light. That's the... No, we need vegetation. If I take everything off... So, let's see. Sim base requires type SOMA, so we need... Sim base required type SOMA. Where is that listed? This? No. Oh, package SOMA, human. Okay, gotcha. So we need that, I think. If we do this, then we need the vegetation. Advanced. We need the wood atmosphere. System interface scan. So I'm obviously viewer. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just repeating what we see over there. Can we get by less stuff? Over at this point. This is not the right thing to do. And there's no other SOMA types. We have to have the humans. Viewer, I'm gonna cut the recording and be... Okay, everyone, I managed it. That took quite a while, so I'm glad I cut the recording of another 15 minutes of me trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. Alright, so it's done. Let's go ahead and hit next.
Try loading a dummy scan. Shouldn't be that difficult. I just want to make sure I understand how the scan data is formulated before we start messing around with the real ARC. Run the simulation and then hit pause while the code is running. It'll give me a cross-section of the process.
I don't know what I'm looking for here. Oh, we have to pause when it hits dummy.
You need to pause while the dummy is loaded, otherwise I can't know if it's working or not. Yes, of course. So precise, so perfect.
Nothing like admiring your own work.
What? Oh, right.
Are we done here? Can we go to Omicron and get my new suit now?
Yeah, we should get going.
Want to bring this ARC as a backup?
No, that wouldn't work. This is just a prototype.
Good. I prefer to travel light.
Let's go. Don't forget to take me with you.
Alright, viewer. We've been playing for close to an hour, so we're actually going to stop here. I guess we'll heal first. All right. Viewer, we come back. This is when things are going to get rather serious. So I'll see you in the next one. It's going to be creepy. I'll see you then. Take care, everyone.